Last time we escaped the vault, and I think we ended pretty much right then and there. Right? Right. First order of business, we have to go there. I suppose where we used to live. Nuka-Cola, Nuka-Cola bottles. Radix. Holder, wrench. And steam pack right away purified water. The button is Vault 111 elevator button. Not interested. One thing we can do now. We can assign the quick keys ourselves. But we don't have to accept the quick keys the game offered us to start. Ooh, Molotov cocktail. I don't like the control scheme of this game. It's not the worst piece of shit ever, but it has the console control feel to it throughout. Some things just don't make a lot of sense. Sometimes there's unnecessary placement of buttons. When you with a keyboard, you would clearly have better placements for them. And sometimes same button is used more than really is necessary. One example would be that there's a sort of a power attack button that's the same attack as throw a grenade button, which probably makes a lot of sense on a console control because you have a limited amount of buttons and you're sort of used to different type of presses. I mean tap, push, and hold button, just tap it a little, things like that. Naturally, you can do it with keyboards and mouse too, but keyboard isn't great for that. It's certainly not as good as a console controller. So yeah, there's a high probability that when either I'm not going to do power attacks or I'm going to throw grenades accidentally when I'm trying to do them. So not a happy camper about that. But on the other hand, it basically means a melee attack on ranged weapons, which isn't that useful unless you're specifically designed your weapon for that. You can add a bayonet to a weapon, so it can do proper damage with a melee attack too. But it makes it a worse weapon for shooting. So I'm gonna opt out of that. Random flowers and shit. Bloodleaf. I'm not sure what's this even used in. Don't want to go too far there. Not now. Our immediate objective should be to just get to where our house used to be.
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really you.
Codsworth, what happened to the world?
The world, Mum? Well, besides our geraniums still being the envy of Sanctuary Hills, I'm afraid things have been dreadfully dull around here. Things will be so much more exciting with you and Sir back. Where is your better half, by the by?
He's in a better place.
Oh, Mum, these things you're saying, these terrible things, I believe you need a distraction. Yes, a distraction to calm this dire mood. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades. Oh, Sean does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
Codsworth, listen to me carefully. Have you seen him? Have you seen Sean?
Why, Sir had him last, remember? Perhaps he's gone to the Parker residence to arrange a play date. I'm sure he'll be back with him momentarily.
Sean's been kidnapped. But I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna get my baby back.
It's worse than I thought. You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia. Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
200 years? What? Are you sure?
A bit over 210, actually, Mum. Give or take a little for the Earth's rotation and some minor dings to the old chronometer. That means you're 2 centuries late for dinner. Perhaps I can whip you up a snack. You must be famished.
Our first conversation persuasion attempt.
Codsworth, you're acting a little weird. What's wrong?
Mum, it's been just horrible. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing! And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car! How do you polish rust?
Stay with me, pal. Focus.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, Mum. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. I thought for certain you and your family were dead. I did find this holotape. I believe Sir was going to present it to you as a surprise. But then, well, everything happened.
Thank you, Codsworth.
You're welcome. Now, enough feeling sorry for myself. Shall we search the neighborhood together? Sir and young Sean may turn up yet.
Have you seen anything dangerous?
Oh, just the usual, Mum. Pesky neighborhood dogs and mosquitoes. Shall I investigate?
I wonder how much of the Codsworth's distress is actually genuine. I'm going to assume it is. I mean, I had to persuade to get him to tell me.
All right. Lead the way.
Proud to serve, Mum.
Well, he's been here alone for 2 centuries, so I suppose some kind of a corruption or just learning new things
Oh.
is to be expected.
That'll leave a dent. That it? Oh, fine then.
Hey, Codsworth.
Mum, don't worry. My search protocols are on full alert. Nothing here but a few flies. Wait. My sensors are picking up movement in another house. Follow me.
Might as well follow. We can loot all these places once this area has been made safe.
This should be fun. Jolly good show all around. Away. my word. Mom, your family isn't here either. They're really gone, aren't they?
Thanks for trying, Codsworth.
You can't give up, Mum. What about the city? Concord is nearby, and, well, the people there have only shot at me a few times.
Thanks for your help, Codsworth.
Good luck, Mum. You'll find young Sean. I know you will. I shall remain here and secure the home front.
Well, he did get a holo tape from him.
Oops. No, little fingers away. There we go. Just say it. Right there. Right there. Go ahead. Ah! Yay! Hi, honey. Listen. I don't think Sean and I need to tell you how great of a mother you are. But we're going to anyway. You were kind and loving and funny. That's right. And patient. So patient. Patience of a saint, as your mother used to say. Look, with Sean and us all being at home together, it's been an amazing year.
Got it.
But everything we do, no matter how hard, we do it for our family.
Isn't much of a message. Pipe pistol. It's an inferior pistol, but I think the benefit is it's plentiful, and therefore the ammunition for it is plentiful. And it's not like it's a worthless pistol by any means. It's just slightly weaker than a 10mm. It's a lot of small things that have been improved. One thing is mobility. This kind of a ruin in Fallout 3 would probably have been totally inaccessible. Here it's just slightly more difficult to maneuver around in, but it's perfectly, you can just go on top of it and move in it. That's certainly possible. These are all recyclable or scrappable for resource, but I would need to activate the workstation for this community before that's possible. Going around, looting as much as we can to get the necessary resources. Guessing someone's been buried here. First intact house. Nothing worth of note. Your typical crap you find everywhere. Still. Cap stash, 15 bow caps. That it? Yeah, we're not gonna get much loot out of this place. Some ammunition. Well, it's free. Root cellar. Shovel. Money and there are various kinds of crap, I suppose. Stimpaks, purified water, aluminum cans, beer bottles. I'm taking everything at this point, even if I don't think it's gonna be useful. Gold bars. Gold bar is not useful for money, although it probably has a decent trade value. Again, might be more advanced
No way
luck,
I could pick this.
so we can't pick lucky. I'll luck pick it. How far are we from a level up? We can get there quite easily. We'll have to craft something. So these resources will come in useful. Doesn't particularly matter what we'll craft, the point is, every time we craft something we're gonna get a little bit of experience out of it. That little bit on level 1 is probably enough for a level up. And we need certain things, we need a bit, probably a water source, that sort of thing. A source of water would be an basically infinite healing for us. We'll have to make a note of those places where we find safes that we can, or any kind of lock we can't really open at all. That brings me to one of the main character development points. Hacking and lockpicking are primary priorities always. So the moment we reach a level where we can pick them, we'll pick them. Just because I don't want to be in a situation where I'll have to bypass a lot of these items or locations and then just come back for it later. I hate doing that. But if the game is what it is, so we'll live with it. One reason again I don't like the too heavy level requirements on certain things. I'd rather sacrifice early development to get access to good hacking skills, good lockpicking skills.
Sweet.
There's nothing special about what we find here, but like a little bit of ammunition, medical item or drugs or something like that, maybe a shitty weapon. So we could easily ignore that. They're not that important, at least these. But at the same time, I hate ignoring them, and some of them might have something special or unique. Like the... what was it? The freeze ray at the first vault. Cryolator or something like that. But in order to reach that, we would have to be a very, very high level character. 20 something at least. And considering that would have been like 100 in skill, and skill being buffable through various means, it's much easier to get to that point in Fallout 3 or New Vegas than it is here. Because there's no way getting around that. You can't compensate by reading a magazine or taking a drug and just overcoming it temporarily. You have to have the ability.
Hell yeah.
Grognat the Barbarian, Jungle of the Bat Babies. Critical hits with unarmed and melee attacks permanently do 5% more damage. There's quite a few of these free bonus giving items. I'm not quite sure. I've found a wasteland survival guide and the That Baby's book. They don't give a similar type of bonuses. It looks like they're like individual perks. Yeah, looks like there's 10 of these magazines and each one will give something new. And I'm not sure what the new things are. I would assume on low levels they're not much, but if you get them all, it might be something very, very good. Or just 5% extra damage. Don't know. Special. Oh. Your special book will allow us to raise one of our ability with a point. I'd like to see what makes sense. Would get Night Person, not interested. Big Leaves, not interested, but Strength 3 has armor. Basically armor mods, so that's very enticing. And a carry weight increase. Also, well, endurance I'm less interested in. There are a few interesting things here, but it would require a lot more endurance. Intelligence. I suppose robotics expert and nuclear physicist. But we're not gonna get them. Action girl, moving target, ninja. Or scrounger. You know just how to scavenge to keep the fight going and find more ammunition in containers. That's not a bad thing. Ammunition has 0 weight, so it's just more web value and money added to you for free, basically. Not sure if it's necessary, but so what I'm looking at here is either to try to get strength to 3 or keep going up with intelligence. I am interested in armor mods. You don't have. This is for manufacturing them yourselves. You can just buy mods too, so it's not the only way to get them. Maybe I should try to get to intelligence A. Or when you successfully hack a robot, you can give it specific orders. Level 44, right? So currently we could hacking a robot, gaining a chance to power it on or off, or initiate a self-destruct. It might not be a bad thing, but again, would carry weight is good, like real good. How much carry weight do we have? 210. Me intelligence. Blast radius 14. Some items that you might not seem all that interesting initially can become very, very interesting.
I'm coming, sweetheart.
It's because what you can get from them. I think the board game gives you a nuclear material or something like that, and that's why it's very, very good. Because it's a rare resource, hard to find. I think they're common, uncommon, and rare. There might be other categories for them, but even uncommon ones would be good to have. There's a perk for getting them. Also, there will be bottleneck resources. There's also ways to get rid of those bottlenecks. I'm not sure about all of them, but I noticed that certain crafting tables have a utility option. It's basically a way to manufacture a certain type of a resource out of others. So, for example, cooking stations can turn vegetables into some kind of a starch paste. It's basically an adhesive, which is something that's a lot of crafting uses, weapon and armor crafting. Doesn't really matter what you're gonna do, adhesives are almost always used. So it's a way to get around one bottleneck. At the same time, nothing's really growing out here, so you have to establish farms or get the food somewhere to get those plants growing. So it all works together. I'm not sure, but I assume that getting these sites up and working will produce you some resources through some means. But that's an assumption. It's just by looking at the resource options. I mean, the build options, what you can do after you take control of this area. Armor workbench. Power armor station. A first workshop. Resources, miscellaneous. Things like this. Scavenging station. It requires a person to use it. Extra scavenging production. Brahming feed throw, so maybe you can I would assume this is for get meat or to get fertilizer, probably both, and things like that. Same for food options. Corn, gourd, melon, mud foods, razor grain, and potatoes. Water. So a lot of these options. And I have to think there has to be benefits to playing this little mini game. Or babysitting all these. And it has to be resource. Maybe the people themselves can be a resource, but a lot of those extra options like shops and things like that don't make sense unless they generate something good for you. I'm not sure what, but resources makes the most sense, especially if you can get access to maybe get around some of the bottlenecks, get access to some kind of rarer resource if you have a settlement that's been fully developed. I mean, most of the stuff we can do now is fairly simple. Wood, steel, concrete, that sort of thing. But when you look at other options, like defense, turrets, heavy laser turret, crystals, circuitry, fiber optics, nuclear materials, science rank 3, this sort of shit. Fiber optics and crystals aren't going to be found in normal houses or rubble. You have to have at least something a bit more high-tech to get access to that. Maybe scrapping energy weapons or something like that, I don't know. But it's a much more rarer resource in general, so I don't really want to waste it. One cool thing, a lot of basically good streamlining in this game. We can store all junk at a press of a button. We don't have to individually go through inventory and decide what to store unless we want to store something extra. It doesn't get tagged as junk. So a lot of positive polishing of how the game works. Definitely streamlining in the positive sense. I don't feel anything of value is lost by there. It just saves time, makes things more easy for you to manage. The typical inventory time and management that you have to spend some of your time in these games, no matter what, that's definitely going to be cut down thanks to things like that. Clean tan suit. The suits are nice. +2 charisma. Here it shows what slots they occupy. Good thing about the default suit is that it doesn't occupy anything, so you can tack armor pieces on top of it. And it has some resistances. t-shirt and slacks. Laundered rose dress. So what I've gathered is that generally the armor thing goes like this. You choose the basic clothing underneath and then tack armor. Alternatively, you tack a full armor setup that doesn't have those empty slots for you to modify it with. So it's your choice. From what I've seen, it's usually better to pick an option where you can add those armor pieces, because each individual armor piece is an upgradable piece. So a full armor is very likely, it looks nice and might have some protections and things like that, but once you have the ability to upgrade things even a little bit, the individual pieces will be a much better whole for much tougher protections. But whatever floats your boat, the full armors provide a much more consistent look. The armor pieces naturally just better, and you don't have to have a consistent setup. You can have metal armor pieces, leather armor pieces, all mixed up. Create something unique for yourself. Again, I can't complain about having more options. If you like one of them more than other, just use the one you like. They're both viable. We're probably going to go with something light no matter what. I mean, if sneaking is gonna be a thing, we can't use heavy armor. It also means we might want to focus on certain type of crafting before others. Maybe try to get access to a weapon shop. I'd be very keen to get some kind of a silence weapon if I can get one. It seems like something like that is craftable, but it would require... it's not something I could do at the moment, for example. So getting access to a weapons merchant, on the other hand, might give us exactly what we want. This wouldn't be a goal that I would go after. Not in a strict goal sense, simply because no matter what, I'm gonna need more resources levels, so there's no point trying to track down some kind of a theoretical merchant at this point, because even if I would find one, there's a good chance I couldn't afford it anyway. Or if I could, I couldn't really get much out of it because I'm such a shitty character. So, better just take things in steps. Once we're a little bit more comfortable in our capabilities and resources, then we can go after something really. It's a bomb. Tension trigger.
That's it.
Nothing special. Summer shorts. Medics. Well, we can try out clothes some other time. Charisma +2, and it's only a chest piece, so we'd leave other places intact. It's not a bad thing because +2 charisma is very attractive to us, especially if there's no immediate danger and we're among people, so we could basically easily buff the charisma without sacrificing too much defense at the same time. Guess the password. I'm not talking about these mechanics because they're the same as they've been in the previous games. Nothing new about them. Shit. It's no or glow. There's no way I can know the difference. Shit. Been locked out of this terminal for 10 seconds. Well, good to know. In a hostile environment, it's probably an automatic alarm.
That's it.
Totally high-strung and needs to relax. I keep telling him that, offering to help, but so far no dice. By the looks of this guy, he's self-medicating with pie. Baker. My favorite tinfoil hat-wearing nutjob, good for several ampoules of day tripper a week. Guess he's a one-a-day kind of guy. Whatever helps the man groove. Rosa. Still trying to get her some buff out. Didn't expect the rationing to affect this, but it is what it is. Jahani. He wants something called Psycho. I'm not sure the stuff even exists, and if it does, do I really want this Neanderthal using it? Guess it depends on how much he's willing to spend. I'll put some feelers out to my army connection, see where that goes. Or a truck salesman. Brussels. They still owe me for that last XL delivery. Occurred to me, was it even for them? Because so help me God, if I find out they've been choosing up those dogs, we're going to have words about more than the money. But we're probably beyond words anyway. I know they have a floor safe in there. I've seen it. Master bedroom, under the dresser. Can't be that tough to crack. Concord. O'Keefe. Still good for a couple of hits of Daddy-O a week. Pretentious, pseudo-intellectual asshole, but his money's good. Williams. Wants Med-X, as much as I can get. Hasn't told me why, not really my business. Guessing there's some sort of a long-term pain management going on? Disease? Anders. Kids are usually a no-go, but this girl's got style, and she's not interested in getting tweaked. Order 20 blood packs. Some Halloween stunt or something. Or hell, maybe she's really a vampire. What do I care? She's got her daddy's money. Isaacs. Some student at CIT. One stage chipper, Excel, and an entire palette. Yes, a palette of mentats. Not sure if he's doing crazy experiments, dealing to the other eggheads, or on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Don't care, so long as the money's good. Ward. Young married couple, good for a couple of day tripper per week. Easy order, cool people, no brainer. McDermott. Cop, long time bug-out customer. Running into supply problems. We've had a good thing for years. I'd hate to end it now, and I don't exactly want to risk him getting all noble and law-abiding if he can't get what he wants. That would end very badly for me. Sapolsky. The old lady has upped her daddy-o order. Weird, but profitable. Miscellaneous. Malcolm. Potential new customer in Charlestown. Once mid-X. Seems oddly desperate. Might be a cop trying too hard. Need to move slowly. Duchesne. Underwear model from Braintree. Beautiful, intelligent, totally weird. All she's ever wanted is Stimpaks, 10 plus per week. My imagination continues to run wild. And that's it. Well, we do have a minor problem. There's a safe here we can't access. And I don't like that. I actually very much dislike that. Level up. Yeah, and there was much rejoicing. Lockpicking can allows you to pick advanced locks. I still wouldn't mind the extra experience from crafting, not at all. However, there's no real reason to do it here. The red rocket scene there, that's another settlement, and I think it's pretty much abandoned already. So I sort of might as well go there. 2 fragmentation grenades. We might as well cook from our few meat pieces. Grilled rat roach. Basically just... oh fuck. Basically just... yes, you. Grilled you. Moves the radiation radiation that's usually attached to these. Not a great crafting system, but it's sucky in this way that some of the best crafting was in Skyrim. So even though it's not a good system, it's still very fairly quick to go through if you want to do multiples. So yeah, it's better than what it was in Skyrim. Let's put it that way. Still not great, but much better. I think it's probably much more enjoyable overall in 2, for the simple reasons that there's no skill to develop here. A lot of the annoyance from Skyrim came from the fact that I had to level up by just using it. Use, grind. Here there's zero reason to grind. I might have to do a lot of these, but they're all for a need and they're fairly quickly to do anyway. So there's not going to be hour-long crafting sessions in that sense. It might be hour-long let's build a city here session, but that's much more enjoyable because that involves planning instead of just simple repetition. I'm not sure what the point is. Let me explain a little bit. A lot of the crafting for a settlement seems to be about values, numerical values you adjust by adding something to the city. Make more fields, produce more food, add a well, produce more water, easy enough to understand. Build a turret, you have additional defense value. And defense value is supposed to be a deterrent from raiders. Here's the thing though, I'm not sure if the game has actual raider attacks on these settlements or not. What I mean is, does the positioning of turrets or walls or things like that ever make any kind of real difference? Does it really matter? I don't know. If it does, you can probably do really shitty things. And cool things. It's because the crafting system doesn't have a physics engine attached to it. I tested it out a little bit. Like, wanted to go on a roof somewhere, so you build a staircase or move around these objects so you have a way to just jump there. Build some platforms here and there to see how they work, and you can basically build a platform on top of this area, for example, and then remove all the places where it's attached to the ground and other structures, and it will still float there in the middle of the air, no problem. So potentially, if the design of the city here matters and there are actual attacks on these settlements by random raider groups or something plot related at some point, you could do some really shitty things. I mean, build wire fences to block all kind of melee attackers and placing turrets behind them or in their protection. And there's something like a missile turret, so it's probably heavier. So you can understand that's probably going to murderize everything that gets near. Or place them on floating platforms on top of the city. So they're going to be incredibly difficult to take out. Things like that. Probably, yeah, you can combine them with the traps and things like that. A lot of electrical switches and things like that. I'm not sure how you would want them to work, but it seems like there's a lot of options there for you to screw around with. Maybe have a selective source for where your power goes. So a limited power supply could be basically powering the fences where you need it. You could have a lot of extra turrets available and only putting some of them online during a fight and offlining them during non-fights, powering up non-essential systems, things like that. So just by looking at it briefly and testing out a few things, I mean, I don't have the skills for the better turrets or power systems or anything like that. It seems like you can do a lot of things there. My question mark is it worth doing? You'll get experience from it, sure, but
Yes.
fancy hairbrush was pretty much the best thing we got of this. To be fair, we got a decent amount of ammunition. But it's not the end of the world if you can't access one of those. I don't think I want to get into heavily building up these cities at the moment. Simply because I'm much more interested in, at the moment, to explore the world. I don't know what's the benefit. Am I wasting my time? If I spend a couple of hours designing a complex city and defense networks, I want it to matter. I don't want it to be a waste of time or just get a little bit of experience out of it. So I'm somewhat reluctant to fully throw my weight behind that unless I know there's something.
I need to assign someone to this. I need to assign someone to this. I need to assign someone to this.
Gourds and melons. Now we could plant new plants. Armor crafting. Not every armor is craftable. We could add insulated lining with this. Adhesive leather and rubber. It's 5 extra protection, 0.3 extra weight. Yeah, not gonna do it. But that's more or less how these work. Is that all? Armor workbench. I think there's a weapon one. That's more interesting. 5 pipe pistols for a 10mm pistol. I'm not sure I want to scrap these now, because we should have enough intelligence value to get a perk that allows us to get more out of these. Standard sight, glow sight. reflex sight circle. I'm not quite sure what it means. It would use up all our nuclear material, so we could only do this once. That would be it. I'm not sure if it's worth it at this point. Automatic receiver. Improved rate of fire, inferior damage and range. Again, adhesive. Adhesive. In many ways I'd rather upgrade a pipe pistol. Oh, muzzle. Suppressor. Gun nut 2. Suppresses sound from firing. Exceptional short recoil. Improved recoil control. Poor range. But something like this would allow us to kill stealthily and still maintain our stealth. So gun nut. What exactly is required for something like that? For God's sakes. It's perception or agility. Or intelligence. Okay, intelligence 3. Shoot first, kill first. With access to base level and rank 1 gun mods. Rank 2, rank 3, rank 4. Rank 2 is level 13. Yeah. Level 39. What about science? What's a higher level? Rank 17, rank 28, rank 41. Robotics 44. Radiation weaponry 26. We're gonna be moving on. I don't even want to wait here until daytime comes. I can see the rocket installation. It's basically a garage setup. It's much more defendable place in my opinion. It's a more fitting place to be our base of operations. Raider, Drifter outfit, Mongrel Dog, Tire Iron. Gonna need the pipe pistol as a quick weapon. Uses different kind of ammunition, much more common ammunition. Molotov cocktails. We need quite a few level ups before we can do anything really. But the level requirements will force us to do trading. There's no way we can get a suppressed weapon unless we trade or level up quite a bit. Red rocket trucks. Weapons workshop. Transfer all my junk. We left quite a bit of junk in the other location though. Trying to clean this place a little bit. Plastic and rubber. Seems like a radio should provide something more interesting. Maybe I don't have the skills. Now what I'm trying to build here is containers. The weapons we have, for example, where are we gonna store them? There's no good place. But with furniture and, well, we could use a bed to sleeping bag will do. That's a place to lie down. Containers. Some kind of a trunk. Steamer trunk. Sounds good to me. Right. This will be our weapon trunk. So, extras. Short pipe revolver rifle. Uses different type of ammunition again, but otherwise not interested. What I want to do is quick travel to the sanctuary. 0 people, 50% happiness. I think I stored some junk there and I'd like to get it back. At least now we sort of have a place of operation. I think around the Red Rocket's garage are a few extra crafting tables and a chemistry table. I'd like to bring them inside if I can. Take all, yes. Over carry weight. Not much though. Wouldn't happen to have a drug or something? Well, why bother really? Because we can do quick travel, there's no reason to mess around with this. We can just easily go back and forth a couple of times and we migrate it. The help screens tell me that you can join up these workshop spaces with each other, so you can use up the resources in one to build things in another. That's fully viable. However, you need someone to actually travel between the places, and we have no people on either one, so not really an option at the moment.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself? You lose your owner, buddy? Okay, then. Let's stick together.
Not sure if that's a good idea. Stealth. I'm not sure how it works with something like this. Okay, what exactly did you find? You found nothing of interest, really? Burned magazines? Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. That's what you found. Red Rocket Terminal. Business entries. Took some wrangling with the head office, but we finally got all the tools we need to machine our own parts. No more having to pay for Corbega factory parts the next time they change the specs on a damn fastener. Just take one we've got and trim the excess down until it fits. Rosa Restoration. The Drosa widow in Sanctuary Hills is restoring an old classic Corbega with her son. Nice woman, pretty. Kid seems like a kind of a brat, but I guess that's the point of her doing this project with him. Anyway, she's been doing a hell of a job. I was amazed at how much her and the kid have been able to do on their own. The only reason she even came to me is because the engine is out of her depth. I'm sure we can help her out. Safe storage. Jim, take care of these barrels before you leave tonight. Inspectors are coming first thing in the morning. Just hide them with the others. We'll figure out a longer-term solution later. Hey, if nature's going to favor us with a cave right below the shop, who am I to argue? Well, well, well. Anything interesting in service logs? Nope. 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 Coolant leak. Nothing. Replace parts, fix things, that sort of crap. But cave beneath the... Ooh. Cave beneath this station. Fucking rats. They're bursting from the ground. I like this. Terrible shooting. I like this because, let's face it, mole rats are pathetic enemies. They've always been pathetic enemies. They might just sort of catch you unawares here and there and cause a little bit of trouble, but basically they're totally worthless, harmless enemies. This gives them something unique, something memorable, something that's out of the normal. They can, at least a little bit, they can just suddenly pop out of the ground no matter where you are. You don't know until they're right on top of you. I've complained about something similar quite often, I think. Like having spiders in your game as an opponent, and just basically have them as a standard enemy with nothing special about them. They're just a normal NPC enemy with a spider-looking model, instead of doing anything that's really spider-like or special that differentiates them from the others. So that's more or less what I'm referring to. Moles they have a something mole-like ability, if it makes sense. They're not just another normal NPCs running about. They have something with them that makes them a little bit different from their normal trash you're gonna face. I'm gonna borrow this chemistry station. I don't see why I should leave it outside. I mean, I want everything to be in a single place. Okay, now you're blocking my construction efforts. Okay, we have weapons, we have chemistry. Do we have armor somewhere? I just miss it. No. Something that's easily accessible to us. We have the storage containers here. Lovely. And I get you the mole rat out of here. I don't particularly want to live with it. Atom is too heavy to move. Ooh, I'm too weak to move it basically. Ah, shit. Well, hopefully it'll just disappear on its own. Right. So, we have our little home here. We have a bed to sleep in. We have our crafting tables. Utility. Cutting fluid. Bone. Oil. You can produce oil, basically. And adhesive through the food preparation station. Molotov cocktails. Again, requires adhesive, and we have only 7, and it's pretty much every crafting option at the moment requires adhesive, so I'm not too keen on using it on a Molotov cocktail. I mean, the item can surely be useful, but it's our only adhesive. Skeeto Spit. Syringe ammo. I don't know what weapon uses this, but I want it. This seems very interesting. There's a huge amount of different type of ammunition for this. Reduces target's damage resistance by 25% for 2 minutes. Does 30 points of damage over 10 seconds to target. Chance on hit to cause target to flee. Does 40 points of damage. Chance to make target non-violent for 30 seconds. Target believes the player has vanished. Chance to paralyze. Chance on death for target to spawn a bloat fly. Chance to frenzy for 2 minutes. That is some nasty shit for you to do something. Requires chemistry level 1. Okay, I'll end things here. Just store my extra crap somewhere. 69 carry weight. Okay, this will store things that I don't know where to put. Non-armor. Lamco brand mac and cheese. Blowfly meat. Bloodleaf. Bubblegum. Canned food. Cram. Anything I don't really know what to do with at the moment. Right, gave us 20 pounds extra weight. Now all we need to do is do the same with the apparel. Clean tan suit. Dirty black suit. Hard hat. I need to try out some of these. How the hell do these look like? It shouldn't matter too much, but it's I suppose it's more of a matter of style. How we're gonna present ourselves to the outside world. Dirty black suit. So it's sort of professional looking. Doesn't look good, but it's still there. Under rose dress. That's nice. Summer shorts. Oh, that is hideous. Sweater, vest, and slacks. Nope. T-shirt and slacks. No. I think we're gonna go with the dirty black suit option. We could hold on to the dress too, but the others sort of no. Right, 23 carry weight, so out of 210. Ah, time to rest. 2 hours. 6 a.m. You feel well rested. Sun is shining, and we need to track down a cave beneath this service station and head toward Concord. What's our level up situation? It's not good. Not good at all.